So, looks like we got some big news as of today. Yeah, actually, I'd like to thank my good friend Jason Voorhees 2011 who sent me a message real quick, and he said, this is real. And I was like, you're kidding. And he was like, nope. Yeah, you're reading that right. We are getting a new Predator film from Disney, essentially. I know it says 20th Century Fox. It's 20th Century Studios. It's Disney. Disney's doing a new Predator movie. Now, what's interesting is that it's funny because they were very interested in doing an Alien movie, but after how bad The Predator did in box office, they were very mum on doing another Predator movie. So I find it fascinating that they're actually speaking more about a Predator film, because this has a director to it, attached to it, but again, this is just, you know, the director may drop out by this time, and the movie may stall, but as it stands, we have a director for this film, while, even though, you know, Bob Iger talked about the possibility of a new Alien film, we haven't seen any, like, information. Well, 2020 being 20 as it is, I'm pretty sure we'll get something, hopefully. But yeah, as it stands, we haven't. This is more news than we've gotten for any future Alien films. So yeah, a new Predator film, which a lot of us were worried after how bad The Predator did. Disney wasn't going to do anything for anything Predator. So let's talk about what we know so far. This movie, the director has been announced as David Trachtenberg. Now, if you don't know who David Trachtenberg is, don't worry. I had to remember it as well, because I was like, this name sounds really familiar. Who is this guy? And it turns out David Trachtenberg is the director of 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I actually really love. I really love 10 Cloverfield Lane. It was one of my favorite movies of that year. I think it came out 2017, yeah. But David Trachtenberg's been, like, a lot of indie horror films, and very, like, science fiction. So, doing Predator is not not bad. Now, here's what we don't know. We don't know if this is gonna. They said this is gonna be the fifth Predator movie, not counting AVP, but this is gonna be the fifth Predator movie. But here's the thing: they didn't say if they were gonna reboot it or not. Now, personally, and this is what Jason and I agreed on when we were talking about it earlier, is that what I think is going to happen is that they are going to Halloween it, and, in other words, Jurassic World it. Meaning that they are going to they're going to do the new hip thing in Hollywood of disregarding all the sequels and focusing on one or two films as real canon, and making a new alternate timeline in this semi-reboot. Which actually, when you think about it, is not too hard for Predator, because aside from Predator 2, even Predator 2 is like, it's light continuity to Predator 1. Really, all the films don't have a lot of interconnecting threads. Like, there's no real major interconnecting story. Yeah, they bring up, even especially like Predators and The Predator. The big thing is that a lot of the Predator films are very much like, they're not really totally interwoven. So you could get away with this. Although, admittedly, if they do decanonize Predator 2, I'm going to be mad, because I really like Predator 2. Out of all the Predator sequels, that's my favorite, followed by Predators, and that's it. So if they decanonize the Predator, that would be totally fine. I would be absolutely 100% totally fine if they decanonized the Predator and just kept that. But I've got a strong feeling that what's probably going to happen is that they are going to decanonize Predator 2, Predators, and The Predator, and just focus on Predator and make this the real Predator sequel. So that's what I think is gonna happen. And here's the other thing that even Jason agreed with me. Well, Jason brought it up, and I was like, yeah, Jason brought this up. He's like, you know, they're gonna do this, right? And I was like, totally, they're gonna do that. And the thing he's referring to is that they're gonna totally bring Arnold back as Dutch. There's no doubt in my mind that they are going to bring Arnold back to play Dutch. They were teasing it in The Predator, they couldn't do it, and now we get this. I have no doubt in my mind they're going to get Arnold, and you may be thinking, oh, that's crazy, they wouldn't be able to get Dutch back for Predator. Really? How many times has he done Terminator? Furthermore, I'll give you more evidence of why Jason and I think that, you know, Dutch coming back in a Predator movie is all too entirely possible. Because, yeah, he came back... Arnold came back to not only use his likeness, but also voice Dutch in the Predator Hunting Grounds game. Yeah. So I have no doubt in my mind that they could get, you know, and it's Disney too, they'll definitely get him, you know, they'll more than likely get him to play Dutch. I have no doubt in my mind they'll bring, Disney wouldn't make another Predator movie without doing what the other Predator sequels could not do. I'm sorry, that's the chair. But basically doing what no other Predator sequel had done and bring, you know, Schwarzenegger back for playing the role of Dutch. And here I am thinking, you know, why not you go further? Why not go further? How about you bring Danny Glover back as for Harrigan? Or, you know, Adrian Brody for Royce. Or, you know, Alicia Braga, I think that's her name. Alicia Braga as Isabel from Predators. You know, kind of like, you know, it'd be kind of cool if they took a little bit of the Dark Horse Predator comics of Hunters, where basically all these survivors from various Predator comics came together to hunt the Predators. And they actually had Dutch's brother in the comic too. So I think that actually would be a cool idea, is to make it like, just to show it's all canon. We're all kind of canonizing it. So that's, I don't think it's going to be a reboot, but, you know, there's always that nagging fear that they may reboot. There's always that nagging fear that they may reboot Predator. I doubt it, but I think that at worst what they're going to do is just make a sequel and make it like the new in-canon sequel to Predator. And in fairness, if they go that route, it wouldn't be too hard to make the other, to still count it as canon to the other Predator movies. Because like I said earlier, it's not hard, because it wouldn't be hard to call that movie still in canon and all the other sequels in canon, because the Predator films are very loosely connected. Like, there's only like quick mentions here and there. So assuming on what they do, you could technically, they could say all they want. Oh, it's a Predator sequel. That's the true Predator sequels. All the others are not in canon. And then depending on how it goes, you could be like, I'm gonna still count it as all the other movies as canon. But that's the big thing, is like, what do you know, here's the other major issue. I'm really hoping, and I'm pretty sure Disney won't do this, but I'm really worried, and I'm actually think that they're not going to do this, because we also had news on the same day that Deadpool 3 is being forwarded. It's actually going ahead. Like, it's now, like, the big news is it's going forward at Disney /20. I think they said it's going to be under 20th Century Studios, though. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yes, Deadpool 3 is going ahead, and it actually has writers from the Bob's Burgers. Believe it or not, it's coming from Bob's Burgers show. The creators are going to be help writing the script with Ryan Reynolds. So obviously that's going to be R-rated, so I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to release it under 20th Century Studios and make it a R-rated movie. So that's not going to be too, you know, that's not going to, I have no doubt they're going to, they would be stupid to do a PG-13 Predator film. Right, AVP? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. So, I'm hesitant. Guys, I want to say I'm excited. I really, honest to God, want to say I am excited for the for the possibility of a new Predator film. I really do. I really want to be excited. But after how bad The Predator burned me, and it burned a lot of other major Predator fans, it's really hard not to look past that. It is really hard not to look past of how bad that shit the bed. So I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned about it. I want to be excited, but right now I'm optimistic, depending on where this goes. I'm optimistic. So, but I'm cautious. Okay, cautiously optimistic. That's what I'm going to say. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of a new Predator film? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? Are you guys hoping they'll bring Arnold back to play Dutch? Or do you think we should move past Dutch and just be like, eh? And are you hoping this is going to be in continuity? Or do you think it's going to be like one of those semi-sequel reboot movies? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse, and I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.